Hello everyone, welcome once again to Investing with the Difference. I hope you are having a good time watching all the great stuff happening on EOS. And today we are back with a lot of updates. And of course, as I keep saying that there's so much happening in EOS, we cannot really talk about all the things. So do participate in so many other social media platforms like Telegram, like Twitter, I think, and a lot of other places where people are really sharing. So I hope that you join us. The links are all here on our channel, and we can always discuss what is on your mind, and we will keep coming back with more and more information. Recently we also did a lot of videos on the block producers while we are doing block producer series, and of course we also started a dApp focus series, and we got Horuspe, Jerib, and it was a great discussion about how EOS is evolving. So we will keep bringing you these contents, and very soon we are also going to talk about bigger EOS ecosystem. I think there is a lot of confusion around what's going on with the side chains, or you can call it sister chains like Verbally, Telos. So keep an eye on that. We will share more information and make sure that people get a better understanding of the bigger EOS ecosystem. So let's get back to the news. I think everybody was looking forward to London. The people who are very closely involved in these activities and who participated in hackathon, I think they had a great time. What I'm hearing is it was a pretty good event, a lot of participation. As you all know, it was sold out, but I think many of the investors and many of the people who were looking for a bump because of some news, that didn't really happen. And I think that was kind of I think a mistake on the community part to really expect something from this event, because this was mostly for developers to participate, and whatever was expected did happen. Actually means they had a pretty good event. They gave a challenge which was very interesting problem of solving privacy and security on blockchain, and there was some really great content which came out of it, and some good products were built right there in hackathon, and which is great news. I think this is what you expect from a hackathon, and it was pretty good stuff. EOS Shield won the first prize. They created a very nice identity verification tool using EOS blockchain, and then there was a Chestnut which did a great user experience around the same thing by using whitelisting services, so that you can control who is really accessing your account or the data on your account. Then of course the third prize was On the Block, which did identity system which is very similar to what Civic and Ontology are doing in the other blockchains. So these are the kind of things I think we all need when we are looking for mass adoption. We need better. This is what blockchain was designed for. So it's a great problem, and some good things came out of it. But I think what you need to understand is the news perspective. What did we expect? So we expected some announcements from Block.one, and what I am expecting is some announcements at least from Blockchain Live. So this is an event which is happening starting today actually. So today, I mean right now it's September 25th night in US. So it is 26th is already starting in London. And this is where the Block.one is actually a strategic event partner. They are the main sponsor, it looks like. And we have on the speaker list Dan Larimer and Brendan Bloomer. They are the key speakers. And what I understand is that they are actually promoting a lot of apps which are already, we are aware of them, which are building on EOS. So they have some exhibition areas. So there will be a lot more buzz created around EOS, and it's a pretty big event in blockchain space, and attended by pretty much a lot of people, like from the Bitcoin world, from some of these Consensus, which is a pretty big company investing in blockchain. So it's going to be interesting how it pans out. One more thing which came out is a lot of people who were there, who interacted with Dan, they actually got a sneak peek at hackathon into the wallet, which everybody is waiting for, the iOS wallet, and that is going to create free accounts, as we know, as Dan has confirmed. And I think it is a working prototype, and what they are waiting for is the Apple App Store approval, because they are using secure enclave of Apple iOS, and you need approval from Apple to release that kind of application. And I think that's what is holding back. So I don't think it's going to be easy for them to just release it based on an event. And many other things which they are working on, I think will be built on top of that. So we need to wait for it. Now, what else is happening? I think some exciting stuff. We are seeing some new dApps coming. So eoswall, which is very interesting concept. If you remember, there was $1 million page in early days of internet when they had auctioned off one full page of and ask people to own some pixels on it. So this is one of that project. So this is kind of a real estate game where you are creating your banners and so on, and you're buying pixels, and one day this real estate can be more. So it's a good app. I think it's just a proof of concept again, as the games, as we saw what happened with dice games and some other gambling sites. This is now I think another vector which is easier to build than huge platforms. So I think this is a great use case of EOS where you can really own some space, and you can on one page is called eoswall. This is eoswall.io, which is very interesting project. And another very interesting project which came out is EOS Pixel. Now what is this? So this is basically a game theory based app where they are looking at behavioral economy of you own some pixels and you draw them, and you are actually buying them, and then if you go and you can actually overwrite on top of it. When you overwrite, you are buying it by paying a premium from the existing owner of those pixels. And this is kind of another take on what we saw in eoswall. eoswall is very simple. They are just trying to let people promote some themselves, and so we ourselves created investing with a difference here and a scaling blockchain summit which we are doing, the conference. So this is one way of promoting on a wall. Now Pixel is taking it to the next level where it is more about competition. You draw some pixels and you actually go and overwrite on top of it by paying them, and then finally people try to go and take control of their artwork, and it looks pretty messy already because people are, I think, going all over the places. It's becoming more like defending your territories, and people are maybe going to spoil it for others, so that people get psychologically motivated to go and fix their own art or whatever they are trying to convey here. So let's see how this goes. It's port size is becoming bigger and bigger, 3000 EOS, so which is interesting. I would say that same thing is happening here, but it's a much smaller experiment. I think the values of EOS here is much lower. We are talking about per pixel cost of only 0.001 EOS. So it will be interesting to see how it evolves. These kind of concepts are pretty new in EOS world, and this is the next level of dApps, which I'm happy with. I think we needed something newer than what all the gambling sites. Let's see how it works out. So while all this great stuff is coming out, I think developers are at work trying to think of some beautiful ideas. Few days back we talked about some other much bigger impact kind of applications. So these are just fun stuff. I think we need both of them for adoption. We need people to have fun while there are bigger problems being solved using EOS. Now, while all this stuff is happening, of course, there is always some FUD, and I wanted to take that up and answer about that. So this article which was published in CoinDesk. It's interesting because they talked about early exec leave block.one, and when you read this article, they're talking about people like Thomas Cox, people like David Moss, who left very early in the summer. I think in the May or June timeframe, even before the mainnet launch, they left block.one. And what they didn't talk about while they are talking about such a negative thing about block.one and EOS, that these people are leaving, but the reality is all these people, they are actually working for EOS right now outside block.one. Maybe they realized early on that once that EOS launches, it will become a community project, and they wanted to play a bigger role because they were not involved in the basic coding, and they wanted to not be just a software provider. They wanted to be part of community building, and they still believe in it. Every day you see Thomas Cox, David Moss, all these people are very actively working only for EOS 24 hours. They're not working on any other blockchain. They're not working on anything else. And this article conveniently skipped that detail. And of course, there are a lot of other things they're trying to talk about. They're talking about other issues which happened, the buggy blockchain. This is a headline, while we all know that these were some software bugs which are very beautifully handled, very nicely contained, and very quickly resolved. They talk about all the issues which were like they're trying to portray a negative news around it, but I think you should not worry about it. I think this is again an example of people who do not understand EOS, or who are not trying to understand. They just want to say negative things about anything which they don't believe in, because this crypto is a very religious place, right? Means we see that there are Bitcoin maximalists, there are Ethereum maximalists. They don't want to hear anything else. And the good thing I like about EOS community, I keep repeating that, is we don't see that kind of a behavior. Nobody's going and saying, oh, Ethereum is bad, or like some other Cardano is bad, or Lisk is bad, or so on. What I'm seeing in EOS community and most of the people I talk to, they all talk about how well EOS can do, what is the technology doing, and how to take it to the next level. And that is what I'm really happy about. So don't worry about this. This is all the typical FUD which we do not have to pay attention to. Of course, it hits the price a little bit. So we have seen the in general, I think Bitcoin has come back around $6,400, and that has impacted the rest of the market as well. And we have again settled down around below $5.5. So I hope that it stays above $5, because that's the new base we are trying to create. But I think overall, let's look at the picture of Bitcoin, because that drives most of the market. So we are seeing another correction, and now you see that we are actually going down much faster. So it's kind of forming a kind of a triangle pattern. I haven't drawn the lines yet, but it looks like we are making higher highs, but we are also making lower lows. So it's going to be, sorry, lower highs and higher lows. Let me say correct it. So lower highs and higher lows. So we are going to at some point break out in either direction. So I hope it is it maintains this base. We have been recommending buying in this area of 6,200 to 6,300. I think a lot of people have been using this opportunity to trade, but I would say that it will be interesting to see which way we break out. While there was a lot of trading opportunities, it's not really going anywhere. If you look at it, it's a very much the whole year since the early days of January, when we saw $20,000, we are actually sideways. It's a beautifully captured if you go and zoom out of this chart. We are only going sideways, neither up or down. And that's the story of this year. While I think altcoins have been facing the pressure, the quality coins are going up and maintaining their position. I think we are playing like a kind of a very tight race with Stellar because of recent move, and Stellars actually went up quite fast. So let's see if EOS is able to maintain this position. But I think overall, with the project is progressing. I think we all believe in the platform. If you see what is going on in the rest of the world, I think in the crypto world, I think EOS is one of the projects which is making most progress. And remember, we are only 100 days into this mainnet. Most of the other projects have been going on for a very long time, and so we need to be patient. Let's see how that works out. And again, as I said, we will keep bringing you more and more stuff on especially the BP Focus series. I think we were still working with some other block producers, and everybody was busy with London, so now we are going to be back with some more BP's interviews, and we just finished recording Grey Mass, so you should see that uploaded very soon, and I hope you would enjoy it. It was one of the best discussion I had. It was a very, very capable team and very technical discussion, so do look out for that, and do watch out for other things. And a reminder about the Scaling Blockchain conference. If you're coming to San Francisco Hackathon, or if you're in the area, or even if you don't plan to join, because it's a great set of people we are bringing to the conference. I'm very excited that every day I'm hearing so many new people coming and joining it, and I think this is going to be very, very good gathering. And thanks all for all your support if you're listening here, and look forward to seeing all of you in San Francisco. And for now, I think bye for now, and hopefully we will see some great news coming out of Blockchain Live, and we will be back again covering the details once we hear back. So thank you for all the love, and please share this video or press like, the thumbs up for promoting these videos and to make this available to more people. Thank you. Bye bye.